You're right guys, right, I'm just going to show you quickly how to fit this strut brace. It's a rear strut brace made by Alex at Badger 5. Now, this is the only one about at the moment you can buy brand new. There was a company called Hughes that used to make one. They don't make them anymore. There is a couple that are rolling around second hand that you can currently buy. But apart from that, this is the only brand new one that I know of. Now this was one of the first batches, so it came to me completely raw, so I painted it with a rattle can, so ignore the finish on it. I don't know exactly what colours he'll do them at yet. Now it is quite simple to fit. It's just a 19mm spanner on the locking nuts, a little 8 on the adjuster there, and then I'm using a gun. You don't need to, just use a normal Allen key. It's a 5mm for there, 5mm Allens with nice coned washers, so everything looks all nice. The same on the other side. There's some nice hardware. Now it is a bit tricky behind here, feeding the first couple ones through, but it is still simple to do. I'll show you the backing plate. The backing plate is a lot better design than the Hughes one and a lot stronger. Right, let's get to it then. Right, so I've got my bar set here. I've adjusted these so it only just slides past. You need both ends attached, so it's only just going to squeeze past here. It'll make it the easiest and closest for here. Now the trickiest part is these, which are nicely all the nuts all welded on. If you see how chunky this plate is. Now like I said, remember I painted this myself. This I've just chucked some black hammerite on it. It's hidden away, no one will see it. Now this is shaped just like this is shaped, so it's only going to go on one way. The nuts base away from you, so you're going to have to tip it in. And it's in. Now that's in there, that's the same. See, it tips in and you can see the lines from when I've already done this at once. Now when it's tight, it's going to live like that. You see how thick the plate is. It isn't going anywhere. This will be pretty damn sturdy. Now the tricky bit is obviously that wants to sit down there, same as that one, and you need to put these bolts in. So I will try to show you my technique of how I did it. It's just a little bit fiddly. Like I said, this is adjusted to exactly just squeezing in, and then there's these nice plastic trim bits. I believe they're for the carpets. I can't quite remember. Mine's in a bit of a sorry state, stripped out, going for a bit of a change. Now these bits down here, the bottom of this actually sits on here quite nicely. I rest and I lean it forwards, because you're going to have to sneak your hand in just enough to touch it, and as soon as you've got one threaded in and wind it in a bit, it'll pull the bracket flat, so you'll be fine then. Right, now as I said, I've popped it up onto here. This is the tricky bit. So you've got this plate behind here. You can just about see it. It's easy if I show you the other side. The plate that you want to bolt to. So this is rotated as far forward as possible. And what I'm going to do is I've pushed this forwards, and you can get your finger in here and you can hold the very back of the nut. So I can move this about. I'm going to move this about until you can see the hole there. And whilst I hold it, which obviously I've got a camera in my hand, so it's a bit difficult. Once I hold it, I'm then going to grab one of these nice 5mm with the cone washer, so it all sits nice and flush. Look at that. And then I'm going to poke it through. I'm going to screw it up. I'm going to set you down. Hopefully I can get an angle that you can see me do the first one. Once you've got the first one in, then you flick it, get that second one in. Once that second one's in, all the other holes will line up and you can just pull it straight and slowly just do it by finger, letting them bite. Don't cross thread them, just do them by finger. Even if you've got a gun like I've got, do the first couple threads by your finger, make sure it's definitely in before you start zipping them up. And remember, it ain't got to be crazy tight. They're only 5mm Allens. You don't want to go snapping your bit off inside, because that's a world of pain. Right, So I've popped this one in here. I'll show you the other side. If you're lucky enough, I'll show you how easy it is to get this next one to line up. Literally poke it through. Look, it's screwing in. It's that easy. Give this other one a wind down here. Sorry if there's any steam coming up on the camera. It is absolutely freezing today. And we're going to rotate this whole thing backwards. Just rotate it back. Now we're going to get these other bolts in. Again, just poke it through. Gently, gently. You can feel it biting. There we go. It's that easy. And the same this side. We'll roll it back. I'm going to go for this top one. Bear in mind I'm doing this one-handed, so you'll do it a lot easier. But this shows how easy it is. We'll just wind them all in. And I'm going to get the last ones in both sides because nowhere can I film that. And then once they're in, all in loose, we're going to nip them up slowly. I might show you that, I might not, and then I'll show you adjusting it, and then it's done. Right, be back in a minute. Right, so we've got all our bolts in. They're still loose. I've literally, you can just wind in my finger. We don't want tension on pulling it yet because we've got a gap. Same the other side, don't pull it tight yet. So to move these out, because we want it to go, see, it can't touch, that's because this is too close. So we're going to wind this out. Now remember, we had to wind it in to get it to pass. So we're going to wind this, literally as easy as doing this. And it's going to wind out. You can see it's already getting closer. This is one-handed as well, mind. I will show you as I wind it. So it's getting closer. And we are just going to wind it a little bit more. You'll see it butt up. Now that's still got some movement in it. So whilst it's still got movement in it, we want to settle these plates in. So obviously I've got a gun, you might not do. We're going to just do them up incrementally and slowly. Just nip them up. You see how loose they are at the minute. Pull that plate in square. And the one at the back. Keep going around. I will now nip them up. Right, so that's that side done. We could do it the exact same the other side. And then all we're going to do is do up the adjuster nut, and then we're done. Right then, so I've done them all up. They're all up tight now, both sides. All nice and tight. Now, you've got the adjuster and the locking nuts. It's literally as simple as it is. You might even hear some creaking as we nip this up. Now, don't go silly tight. We're just going to go to where we feel it stop. That's pretty solid. Obviously this isn't a harness bar, do not put harnesses on it. It's not secure enough to put harnesses on it. That would be dangerous. This is literally just a strut brace. It adds a little bit of strength from these two towers, but obviously it's got your suspension in the top of it, and obviously for looks, this is in the boot. It does clear if you've got seats. I will be refitting my rear seats, and you don't need to take them out to do this. Mine's just completely stripping apart in a minute. As you can see, this is where the seats clip in and the base is. This is in the boot. You can still use the boot. It looks nice and it adds a bit. So Now remember, we've nipped this up. It's easy to undo and adjust. Like I said, don't go too far. I'm just going to leave it about there. I'm happy with that. And then these just wind out that way. Reverse thread this one, left and right handed, otherwise this won't work off one adjuster. Use the 19mm spanner. So that's nipped up. Gonna do the same to the other one. Literally, look. Nipped up. That's it. Now I'm going to climb up the boot, and it is easiest. I would suggest literally just sitting in your boot like I'm doing. We get out, and there's your strut brace. Obviously it's got a little bit of flex in the middle. It's not, even if it was just one piece, it would still flex, so it'd be pretty tough not to. As you can see, I hold it here and pull it, it's not going anywhere. It looks good. And an easy mod to fit. There's no cutting, no drilling, everything comes that you need for it. So that's how to fit the strut brace, and because I knew some people might struggle a bit with the brackets. Like I said, this is one of the first ones from Alex. They will be for sale. I'm sure they'll be powder coated or painted. I don't know what colours available yet. I will tag him below somewhere, or his Instagram, so you can message him about them. I don't know the exact price yet. I will find out before I post this. So that's that job done. Thank you for watching.